Hello everyone. We're going to add two new features or a new feature to the IMS later on today, and I wanted to go through it with you. We're going to be breaking out what we're calling touches and contacts in the IMS. How this looks, or what I've seen, or what we've seen, is a lot of people make a phone call and then add a note that they left a voicemail, or they made a call, or something else, and it kind of pretty soon the good notes just end up buried underneath, like what you see here: voicemail, text, straight to voicemail, things like that. Something we did in our recruiting IMS that has gone over very well is we added a couple of categories to the system called touches and contacts. A touch is basically when you reach out to a lead, you send them an email, you send them a text, maybe you make a call attempt. You didn't really have a conversation with the lead. It's not a, you're not in conversation through email or text, but you at least touch them. So we're going to show when the last touch was made, and we're also going to show when the last contact was made, where you had a conversation on the phone, or a conversation between email and text with the lead. So those will be displayed now in the IMS for your, so you can quickly view when the last time you left them a voicemail or actually contacted them. The touched area will display, let's say you send them an email and a text in the same day. Those will be displayed there together. So it's a cumulative of what you've done that day. The bulk email campaigns in our automated gateway and suggest emails will not record as a touch. There is a new button after you make a call attempt. It's called left voicemail. Seems like we have a lot of people leaving voicemails for leads and then entering it in the notes, so we're going to make it a quick button for you to choose after you make a call attempt. How these buttons break down: the left voicemail, or when you call someone and there wasn't an answer, or they picked up the phone and said, hey, call me back in 10 minutes, I'm busy. It's not really a contact. So those will be recorded as a touch. The other two buttons here, had a conversation and meeting set, obviously those are you made contact, you had a good conversation, or you set a meeting, so those will be recorded as a contact. The wrong number, obviously that has nothing to do with touches or contacts in this regard. So you also will still have the record a contact button available in the IMS. I can say that this has been getting, maybe some people don't understand what the definition of a contact is, and we're going to go through that here in a second. But when you use that button, the contact area will be displayed with OOS, basically outside of system contact. Like I said, I want to review when we should use this button. If the lead calls you directly, you sent them an email, they call you directly, that is a contact that this button was designed for. Another one would be as if a lead replied to one of your emails. Not an automated I'm out of the office type reply, but an actual reply to an email that says, hey, I'm looking in this area for this price range, or you're basically starting a conversation with the lead. When they reply to an email, that's another use of this button. The lead, same thing for a text. If they reply to one of your texts, you're having a conversation or contact through a text. Or you called the lead outside of the system. Once again, some people do this periodically. I would say that these, reasons to use this button are, they should be a very, very small percentage of your total contacts. Unless you're getting a lot of replies to emails and texts, which we understand, that is a viable way to make contact. But what I can tell you is that a lot of people are using this button, or some, not a lot. I shouldn't say a lot. There's some that maybe don't understand what a contact is, but they're using this button to to just maybe move a lead off of the hot list. But what we can tell you is we have a report that we run. We've had this report for a long time. It basically shows us a list of leads and agents that consistently use this record a contact button, And we can pull up a lead or any lead in the system, and it'll say, okay, so this was an agent entered contact, but there's no recorded calls lasting 30 seconds in the recent day or two. There's no text, where the client has actually sent us a text that we see in the system, and the client they have not replied to an email that you sent them. So we can't see that there was ever a call that was lasted quite a while, and there's no replies in emails, there's no replies from our clients from a text message, and then we didn't have a note, or we had a very short note. We would expect, if you're making contact with the lead outside of the system, that you should be able to enter in a pretty detailed note about what you discussed, and we expect to see that. In this particular case, it doesn't appear that this may have been a legitimate contact. Maybe it's a one-off situation. We understand that that's going to happen once in a while, but when we see a consistent pattern, that's when we'll probably, the manager will reach out to you and we'll need to discuss, how you're using that button. In this particular case, the agent, they had in their notes that they sent an email. That's not what we're defining as a contact. That's what we'd be defining as a touch, or maybe but it's definitely not a contact. So keep that in mind. I do want to share some good numbers with you. Since we launched IMS 2.0, we went back and we looked at almost 78,000 leads from November of 2016 through June of 2017. About 3 months ago, we gave it a 3-month lag in these numbers. But out of those 78,000 leads, 49,000 of those leads were never marked as hot. 14,000 of those leads were marked as hot. So what we did then is looked at our sales from those particular leads. So out of the 49,000 leads, we had 68 sales. So if you have a lead in your database that has never marked hot, it came in and registered as a new lead but never came back to our site, never interacted with us, that's a pretty high percentage of our leads. But we do have almost 15,000 that did come back to our site or interact with us that were marked as hot. And we generated 523 sales from those leads. These numbers are big difference. We're talking about 1 in every 714 leads converted into a sale if they were never on the hot list. So if you look at these numbers, that number goes from 1 in 700 to 1 in 28. So if you have a lead on your hot list, it's about 1 in 28 that we're going to end up selling them a house. What even gets better is, let's say that we contacted that hot lead when they were hot. They're on the hot list, we made a call, we contacted them, or we had a conversation through email. But the important part is we reached out and contacted them when they were hot. Those numbers go from 1 in 28 to 1 in every 20 leads at that point. So the moral of this story is reach out. Not only do we want to reach out when these leads are hot, but we want to make contact. Some other big numbers. In the last 30 days, we have 14,389 leads that were marked hot that never got worked, which means we never sent them an email, we never sent them a text, we never made a call attempt, we didn't do anything with them while they were hot. That's a lot of leads. We have 7,118 leads in our system that were marked hot that have never been contacted. And remember, they can't be marked hot if they have bad contact information. So these are leads that we have decent contact information, but we've never made contact with them. So, with that, we look at that, we say, maybe we're leaving a lot of money on the table right now, and hopefully you guys can take these numbers and it inspires you to reach out to those hot leads and make contact, because there is money to be made. In regards to the hot leads, I think Had an agent come in the other day and he said, hey Chris, this is awesome. You asked me about my hot leads. I worked all 68 of them. I got that list down to 0. Aren't you proud of me? And I was. But I think what we forget sometimes is the goal, and maybe it was miscommunicated before, or maybe with these recent numbers, we need to start talking about contacting hot leads and not just working them, because the system was designed so that when you have a hot lead and you make a call attempt and you don't get a hold of them, it comes off of the hot list but goes onto your reminder list to try them again, because we want to get in contact with these. So taking a hot lead, touching it, gets it off of your hot list, but we still have to make actual contact with the lead, and that's why we set up a reminder to try it again. If you said I left a voicemail or whatever, change that reminder to call them tomorrow, but we need to really track down these leads when they're hot. That's it. I hope you guys can appreciate those numbers, and hopefully it inspires you guys. We know we have a lot of opportunity out there, and we'd love for you guys to capitalize on it. So hope you have a great weekend. Thank you.